Trust them, they said. Maybe it'll be good, they said. Maybe Michael Bay will do justice, they said. I really wanted this movie to be good. I really wanted to give Michael Bay some credit. I wish my reaction could have been filmed the entire time because I'm pretty sure my expressions were just like... You can tell it was a Michael Bay film. He had his signature all over the movie. I can already say off the bat, even though I'm not a big fan of Megan Fox, she actually wasn't part of the problem in this movie. The movie was just so screwed up that you actually weren't the main cause of it. So where do I start? Storyline pretty much is a scientist who was April O'Neil's dad was working for Saks. They were trying to create some mutagen thing. Found out that he was actually creating for the wrong purposes and tried to destroy the building and all the stuff that they were creating. As the building is burning down, April O'Neil saves 4 turtles and the rat that they were using as product test animals and saved them. So that's pretty much how the Ninja Turtles and Splinter was created. Kind of a really weird story, but we'll just continue on with that. There was zero character development in this movie. They just threw in Shredder and the Foot Clan without any backstory. Like, oh, well, here's our villain. It's Shredder. His name is Shredder with no other name at all, just Shredder, and he's evil, and he's a bad guy, and he just wants to kill the Ninja Turtles and rule the world. Also, the fact that our other bad guy is Sax, because originally Sax was supposed to become Shredder, but they didn't like the fact that the actor who was going to play Sax, because he was Caucasian. So the fact that he was Caucasian, they went on this total rampage, so he can't be Shredder, blah, blah, blah. So we have 2 villains instead of 1, which was totally fine. I completely understand, but when people start going rah 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 rah, that's how storylines get fucked up. Now we have 2 villains, but really we're only supposed to be focusing on Shredder, but instead we're focusing on Sax. So it was a little bit confusing on who should I hate more. Besides not having any character development on Shredder, on the Foot Clan, on pretty much anything, we're pretty much watching a 2-hour movie based on April O'Neil following around these Ninja Turtles because she's trying to discover a story on who this vigilante is against the Foot Clan. The movie being very rushed, and of course not seeing any of the character development. We jump already onto the Ninja Turtles and how they look. So I, for one, do not like the look of how they created the Ninja Turtles. I think it's kind of weird that they have noses, but it's just, it's creepy, and they have like their teeth and everything. I just think, I don't know, I just find that they look kind of weird. The texture, on the other hand, actually turned out pretty well. I think they did a really good job when it comes to like the texture of them, but other than that, I think they just look Splinter also as well, very good details, but I think that they kind of failed when it came to like the animation of Splinter. Foot Clan itself, of course, there was no character development on them as well. They just kind of threw them in. Foot Clan. The Foot Clan had guns, which I found to be very just, I don't even know. And they looked like they came straight out of the movie The Purge with their really, I don't even know what was going on with that whole mask thing. Barely any fights with them. It was just a bunch of them just standing around and shooting. That was pretty much the Foot Clan. Shredder. Now, this being a Michael Bay film, and Michael Bay making Transformers, guess where the Transformers came into play in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Shredder was just another form of a metal transformer. That's pretty much what Shredder was. Big, massive, like, metal suit that just transformed, literally transformed. And just like shooting this Matrix-style knives at the turtles the whole time, and it was just like, it was wrong. I don't even know what to say about his suit armor. It was just all over the place. So another thing with the movie is, if you are a fan of The Matrix, well, you get plenty of Matrix-style motion animation. Everything is in slow-mo. But like literally every single scene, it's a slow-mo. And it's not the fact that he used it in just like a little scene here and there. He used it in every single scene. And of course you have the Michael Bay touches where everything is blowing up constantly. Slam, bam, pow, boom. Everything is blowing up all over the place. Everything is just fire and bombs and Michael Bay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out there. Whoopi Goldberg in the movie. So this whole time we were trying to figure out, what is Whoopi Goldberg doing in this movie? What is her role? Well, I'll tell you what her role was. She was April O'Neil's boss. Her character's name in the movie is Bernadette. And if you are a classic fan of TMNT growing up, you know that April O'Neil's boss is actually a male, Caucasian, and his name is Bern. So they went from having Bern as the original boss for April O'Neil to Bernadette, Whoopi Goldberg, who had no placement in this movie for the fact of just saying, April O'Neil, you're crazy and you're fired. That was pretty much Whoopi Goldberg's big moment in the movie. And Bern was actually a huge character growing up. He actually had a huge part in April O'Neil's life, and they just kind of blocked it off as, I'm just a crazy boss, you're crazy, and you're fired. Done! Whoopi Goldberg! Get it, you like doing the whole gender role-playing thing, that's fantastic and everything, but they could have at least made her character a little better. I'm not even gonna rant long enough on the fact of when April O'Neil threw herself at danger, like pretty much the entire movie. Not one scratch was shown, not one bruise, nothing, not even like a broken fingernail. An entire scene of April O'Neil going down the sewer and then coming out with her hair all perfect and majestic. And not one single drop, maybe like a little moisture on her neck to show that she's been like running or something. Another issue that I had was the fact of I could not stand the turtles' voices. And I believe it wasn't just myself, I also asked my husband and he said I couldn't stand them either. So I'm glad I wasn't the only one. And then I realized Johnny Knoxville was the voice of one of them. I'm like, oh, that would probably do. The fact that their character voices was obnoxious, but the fact that they also made Michelangelo, who is personally my favorite Ninja Turtle, kind of ghetto. I understand that they're teenagers and everything, but he's kind of got like this, hey babe, hey girl, I'm gonna make you my girl, and and get like, it was just not necessary. So now our turtles are pretty much gangsters in this movie. Going along with no character development, Raph, as we know, always had an issue with being part of the Turtles. He wanted to do his own thing and thought that he should have been the leader and all that stuff. It was kind of like, I think Raph is mad, but we're gonna stick together as a team, and we're a team now, but Raph is still mad. Why is Raph mad? Can someone tell us why he's mad? No, not really. Raph is just an angry turtle, and there's just no storyline. What led up to those scenes to why Raph was saying certain things and why Raph was doing certain things. It was just kind of like, here's an angry turtle. Vern in the movie tends to be an obnoxious character, and he's still an obnoxious character. That he's just there for the point of just hitting on April O'Neil the whole time too. And the whole fighting scene with Shredder was kind of weak and meh, most of all because he's transforming and doing things and blah blah blah. Shredder falls. You think Shredder dies, but he doesn't die. Falls with the ooze. You'll notice when you watch the movie, Michael Bay sets it up for a sequel. Michael Bay gave us his farewell touch with an explosion that led to nothing. Some positive things I could probably say about the movie is they did show in some references from the classic Ninja Turtles. They included like some of the little references like Cowabunga and the pizza falling on Splinter. So those are the classic things that you're kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool. Tons of product placements that I noticed throughout the entire movie. I understand you need companies to throw money at you so you can make a movie, but it was just product placement after product placement of Victoria's Secret, AT&T, Pizza Hut. It just, the list went on and on. It's like, really, dude? Do you really need to throw that in my face? Overall, this movie was, it was okay for a movie. It was fine if you don't like character developments or a reasonable storyline. And if you love Transformers and The Matrix, really a lot of action and cutting scenes, and you will probably like this movie. Other than that, it was a total waste of time. I say if you have never seen Ninja Turtles in your entire life, if you grew up not even giving two flips about it, then be my guest and go ahead and watch it, and then you can decide for yourself. Most people are going to like it because they like this kind of action movie. For me, it's just not my kind of thing. It was just terrible all around. The movie itself, it was okay, it was fine. I stayed watching it the entire time, but as far as like no storyline and no character development, it was just, I'm probably forgetting a ton of things throughout the entire movie, but once I sit down and just process. My brain is pretty much in like a big scramble right now. That is what Michael Bay's movie does. It just scrambles your brain and is just frustrated up in there. So I'll probably remember things later on after I'm editing. I know this movie just came out, but let me know if you saw the movie. Is this your first time seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or are you a big fan of the classics from back then? Let me know what you honestly thought about the movie. Did you absolutely love it, or do you think Michael Bay just completely destroyed it? Yeah. So thanks for watching, and if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Panda. You should subscribe down below because I do post videos every Wednesday and Fridays for reviews like this one. And I love you guys, and I'm just gonna go unscramble my brain. Maybe I'll go watch some classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to just unfuck my brain from, I don't know, Michael Bay. I don't know, Michael Bay. It's just Michael Bay. Yeah, I love you guys. Take care. The anime itself had a decent amount of gore into it, but I think because it had to be shown on Japanese television, they had to tone it down a bit.